नमस्कार मंडळी. मी प्रसाद अथणीकर, महाराष्ट्र मंडळ शिकागो 2023 चा अध्यक्ष. तुम्हा सर्वांना नवीन वर्षाच्या हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. हॅपी न्यू इयर टू एव्हरीवन. आपण आज म्हणजे यावर्षी 2-3 नवीन इनिशिएटिव्ह घेतले आहेत. त्यापैकी एक म्हणजे गार्डनिंगचा. तर शिकागोची बाग हा आपला नवीन इनिशिएटिव्ह यावर्षी चालू करतोय आणि श्वेता हरणखेडकर ही आपली त्याची सिलिएजन आहे. दीपाली लांडे आणि भास्कर शेडगे हे ऍडमिन्स आहेत त्याच्याबरोबर. आणि आज आपला शिकागोची बागचा पहिला प्रोग्राम आहे. तर we got a good guest and we have invited one of the renowned gardenist today. तर मी श्वेताला रिक्वेस्ट करतो की सेशन चालू करावं. श्वेता.
धन्यवाद प्रसाद. नमस्कार सर्वांना. आपण प्रसाद, सर्वप्रथम तर तुमचे आणि महाराष्ट्र मंडळाचे हार्दिक अभिनंदन की आपण गार्डनिंग हा नवीन इनिशिएटिव्ह सुरू केला आहे. आपल्या ज्या स्पीकर आहेत त्यांची ओळख करून देताना मला फार आनंद होतोय, कारण त्या आपल्या व्हेरी ओन लोकलाईट आहेत. त्या शिकागोत गेली 20 वर्ष वास्तव्यात आहेत. त्या व्यवसायाने डॉक्टर आहेत. त्यांचं नाव आहे डॉक्टर सुमा मायनेनी. सुमा मायनेनी हे प्रस्थ जे गार्डनर्स आहेत किंवा जे शिकागो देसी गार्डनर्स नावाचा जो फेसबुक ग्रुप आहे किंवा अजून कोणते गार्डनिंग ग्रुप्स आहेत किंवा नेपरविल मधली जनता आहे, ह्या सर्वांना खूप परिचयाचे आहे. आणि तुमची काहीही गार्डनिंग रिलेटेड समस्या असली आणि तुम्ही जर ती पोस्ट केली तर सुमाजी युजली उत्तर देतात. म्हणजे त्यांचं उत्तर तुम्ही आलंच म्हणून समजा. तर आम्ही जेव्हा त्यांना विचारलं की बघा आमचा असा उपक्रम आहे आणि तुम्ही याल का, तर त्या खूप आनंदाने तयार झाल्या आणि म्हणे अगदी एक जण जरी आला तरी मी जरूर सांगेन. तर आज तुम्ही सर्वांनी आलात सगळं प्रोत्साहन द्यायला, तर तुमचे खूप कौतुक. आणि आय विल रिक्वेस्ट सुमाजी टू प्लीज बिगिन your talk. Thank you.
सुमाला अनम्यूट कर ना. Suma, just hold for a minute. We need to unmute you.
You can unmute yourself.
Yes, yeah. All right, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And so today we'll be discussing about organic gardening, like how you need to do by using whatever we have in the home. We don't have to buy, and it's very economical way, and we get the best yield naturally. And so let's go one by one. How we go. So the topics we will be covering today is how do we improve, what are the methods to improve the soil condition? So that's where we need to start. And then starting seeds, like indoor starting, or or else like we also can do like outdoor. And organic way, like how to control the bugs and pests, and organic fertilizers, and how do you take care of the indoor plants? When do we need to bring the plants inside and things like that? So let's go with the composting. The first thing is, so what exactly is the compost? It's a mixture of ingredients used as a plant fertilizer. So to improve the soil condition, like physical, mental, chemical, and biological properties. It is commonly prepared by decomposing plant and food waste and recycling organic materials and manure. So we can use any of this stuff. So how do we do it? Like, what are the things we are using for composting? Like, we need to mix browns and nitrogen, basically. So browns considered as a cardboard, dried leaves, and paper, shredded paper. Any of those things considered as a browns. And nitrogen, like kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, grass clippings, and calcium you'll get like for the eggshells. Let's say you don't have any of things, you need to buy a soil. You can get a soil from the Costco, that's very reasonable price, like any raised bed soil or compost or anything like that. If you need for the pots, if you want to buy, you can buy as a potting soil. But like if you want to do it, like if you are doing multiple pots and if you want to do very economical way, so just buy peat moss, vermiculite, and compost. 2 or 3 different bags and you mix it up and then just use as a potting soil. So vermiculite and perlite, what is the difference? Vermiculite will retain the water, perlite will drain the water. So if you are using a grow bag, we need to have a water content like enough. So better to use a vermiculite instead of perlite. So this is how I did it actually last summer. Just a grow bag, I used it, just making a compost. So the reason I used grow bag is like it has like a lot of micro pores. So the air circulation will be very good. And the greens I use, this is end of the season. So I just cut the plant just above the ground after harvesting and making it into small pieces. Leave the roots in the ground. So if you do leave the roots in the ground, the soil will be loosened actually when you see, and it becomes composted later on. So that's not a problem. And whatever we cut the plant, just make into small pieces and use that as a layer, one of the thing. And next, browns, like any cardboard, like we do order so much from Amazon, right? Take out that tape, and we shouldn't have any glue or anything. Take out that tape, make it into small pieces as much as possible, and mix that, or any brown bags or shredded paper, whatever you have. So browns and greens, and then just mix with the small little amount of soil. Like you can get, if you do have a handful of compost, you can just mix that. And also, if not, just get the soil from the garden, whatever you have in the garden beds or whatever. So just mix it up a little bit and cover it all the way top with little hard cardboard and put some weight. So that's what I did. I have a crab apples from my backyard garden. So I just put as a weight. And then I covered with just one of the brown paper. And at the end, like when you open it in almost like I opened in April, and it became complete soil full of compost. So you can use this compost wherever you want. You can use in the pots, or if you want to use it in the garden beds, you can use it wherever you want, you can use it. Same concept applies for I just mixed, I just wrote all things like whatever you want to use. Same concept for the garden bed as well. So same thing I did like around in the month of, I think, October. So I just spread out all the plants, and also I mix the coffee grounds. Coffee grounds, you can get it from the Starbucks. They usually give the free coffee grounds. So if you do and ask them like, so tomorrow I'll be getting coffee grounds, so can you share it something for me? So they will definitely save it for you. And you can, and for that's their rule actually. For gardeners, usually they give the coffee grounds. That is we are using as a nitrogen, just additional nitrogen plus plants. On top of it, we do have a lot of leaves in the garden, like in the backyard trees or somewhere. So just spread out all the leaves or paper or anything, or cardboard boxes or whatever you have. Just spread it all over that. On top of it, I used the soil from the pots, because some of the pots I don't want to use it anymore. So that was the reason I just put all the soil on top of it, just covered it. And you don't have to water it, nothing actually. You are just covering it. And after, when you open it, like when you see in the month of around April, everything will get like composted completely. You don't see anything there, because usually we do need a water, but like since we are doing this long, so sometimes it rains or snow, whatever, the water will be there, so that is good enough to compost. This is my leaf mold. So I just collected all the leaves. I used geobin to collect the leaves, but you don't have to have a geobin. You can use like any chicken wire, you can just cover it up and fill completely with the leaves. This is the best one out of all, because we can use a compost, but composting just the leaf without any nitrogen, it takes like almost 1.5 years. So that long, if you wait, that's good. If you don't want to wait that long, you can use different ways. So whenever you are filling the pots, like next year in the beginning of the season, so the base of the pot, like around 10 to 12 inches, you can just put these leaves and our leaves or whatever, twigs or whatever you have. On top of the top layer, top 12 inches, just add the soil so that at least you can save something there. And also you can use as a mulch on top of the pots or beds or whatever you want to use, like you can use in many different ways. The reason it is excellent one is because just the leaf, here there's no nitrogen, just the leaf. Leaf is decomposed by fungi. So that is very healthy. That is the best one compared to the bacterial. When we are mixing the leaf and browns and greens, so leaf fall on the browns and greens, then it becomes as like it's a bacterial, like all other microbes will decompose. But only leaf, just the fungi. This is the best. but like it takes really long time. So might as well use it, like you can use in the just like that. All right. And the next hugel culture method. This is the Japanese culture. We use this in the barrels like we are galvanized beds. So galvanized beds usually is coming like almost like 24 inches height. So if you have to fill those full bed with the soil, it costs like really expensive. It becomes too expensive. So instead of that, hugel culture means like you are using like plant twigs, branches, whatever you have basically. You don't have to think like what I have, what I don't. So just even the logs, all the way down, keep it all this stuff and leaves. And also my suggestion is like use coffee grounds here, because anytime browns has to decompose, you need to have a nitrogen as well. That if we don't use the coffee grounds, the disadvantage is on the top layers we'll be covering with the soil, like around 12 inches with the top layer, soil, compost, whatever we have. These leaves will take nitrogen from the soil, whatever we added. So plant depletes the nitrogen. So instead of that, if we add the nitrogen, so the easy amount and we are getting plenty is the coffee grounds. Just spread it over coffee grounds here, one more layer. So that will be good. And then plants start growing and these will decompose. You can see clearly after a few days, just a month, it doesn't take that long. In a month time, the level of the, let's say we filled completely all the way top of the bed. In few days, the side, it goes down actually, easily 6 to 12 inches. So we have to add, because that means the down one is composting like all leaves, twigs, and it's composting so quickly. That's what I did for my beds. And then I do see that like it already composted, nothing is there. Then next year I just put it down. So just to see what exactly going on. So everything is composted, nothing is left out there. And this is compost tea. So I just use, Kashmira knows this very well. So I just use like few banana peels and eggshells. The reason I used here those two is like banana has like a lot of potassium. Plant does need like a lot of potassium to get a best yield, like the flowering and everything. So just leave it in the small, any container is fine. I just use this one. So any small container, just keep it like, and mix the water for just keep it for 3 to 4 days. That's the minimum you can use. By then it starts fermenting. So dilute this with the regular water and just spread it all over your ground basically. So you do get like a lot of flowers and you get the best yield. And calcium is good because to strengthen the plant, and you do get the more branches and everything. And for tomatoes and peppers, you don't get into blossom and rot. So eggshells is always the best. Even from now on, in case if you're not doing it, just get a lot of eggshells, like save it, and beginning of the summer, like around April. So just wash it, everything nicely, bake it around 250 degrees and make it as a powder, because that powder will stay longer. So while you are planting tomatoes and peppers, just take a spoonful of this eggshell powder and put it in the ground and then plant it. So you don't see any blossom and rot or anything. Blossom and rot means like at the end of the tomatoes, you get a small, like blackish color. Even for the peppers, that will come because of the calcium deficiency. So if you do all these things, you don't get it, you don't even see all that stuff. So that will be good. But in case if you did see, like, so if you did not do anything, and if you do see, just add a glass of milk, diluted milk. You get that will cover it up basically. That should be fine. And this is another way. This is lab. See, this is lactic acid bacteria. So we prepare with this rice water. So this will help to control the plant diseases, and it helps the microbes in the soil and break the compost faster, and also for the seedlings to grow. Before we start seeds, we just soak in the water. So if we soak in the diluted lab, the germination rate will be much better. So how do you make the lab? Just with the rice water. So if you are preparing 1 glass of water, add 1 rice, just add 1 glass of water, nicely clean it up. Use only that, like not the multiple times, only first time, whatever you're using it. So take it in a glass container and cover it with some cheesecloth, put it in the shade, And later on, in 3 days time, after 3 days, you should be able to see. So the clear liquid will be on the top and all residue will be on the bottom. So drain that, just use the clear liquid and take out that residue, and you can use as a compost. And after that, again, you keep this one, the clear water in the glass container, add 10 cups, whatever, if it is 1 cup of clear water, and then you need to use the 10 cups of milk. Again, cover it with the cheesecloth and then put it in the shade after, because it's a summer time, I'm just telling 3 days. But if it is in the winter, it takes like little longer. We don't need to use in the winter time unless you are starting seedlings or anything. It doesn't stay more than 1 month actually, if you put it in the refrigerator. If it is outside, 1 week is good. So after 3 days, you see like a paneer, like on top layer, very thick paneer, like kind of paneer, like it's not paneer, like a kind of like that. So just remove all that and then throw it in the garbage, in the compost. That will get composted fast. And whatever the clear liquid, we can put it in the plants. So the dilution should be 1 ml to 1 liter of water, not more than that. Usually the technical, exactly they'll say 0.8 ml. I'm just saying 1 ml to easy, to measure it easily actually. So not more than that. That will be helpful to, it controls the plant diseases. That's the most important, beautiful way of doing it. Then starting seeds indoors. So it all depends on the what type of seed you want to start and what type you want to grow. So majority of the vegetable seeds you will see in the, by April, basically by March, it is good to start. April is good actually. And all gourds like apple, ash gourd, bottle gourd, ridge gourd, and all those things, beginning to end of April is good. If you can grow even before, but the problem is it grows too big, it's hard to maintain. Only disadvantage or most important step we must do is hardening. What exactly is the hardening? Hardening is because the plants inside the house, they are growing in a controlled environment. Heat, temperature, wind, everything is very controlled. But once it is exposed outside, it takes like some time, like to adjust. So the way we do hardening is like slowly. Start with half an hour in a day first, and then gradually increase, like first day, half an hour or 1 hour. Then you do see like if it is more than half an hour, eggplants especially, it becomes wilted. So it only takes like, it's very delicate, all those seedlings. So go gradually 1 hour, 2 hours, like 4 or 5 hours. And whenever the night temperatures are more than 50 degrees, just leave it outside for a couple of days. So its total process will take 2 weeks time. So full of hardening. If without hardening, if you do it, the plant is very weak. With the wind and all, it may fall off actually. So it's not good because we just, all those seedlings, right? We don't feel good to see all that stuff. So might as well do hardening in proper way. And seed starting time. So what kind of seed you need to select? The first thing is select AAS winner non-GMO seeds to get the best yield. So whatever you want, you can select it. Basically, you should be able to search online. So which one, let's say eggplant. So which one is the best AAS winner seed? And then you can go from there, like whatever the seed you want, you can go ahead and choose it. So when do you start? October to November. This is a direct sowing onions, like walking onions or garlic or anything. So once you start in November, so garlic will be removed fully prepared by next year, July. So as soon as you remove July, that place you can replace by daikon radish. I'm just giving you examples. So daikon radish, you can harvest in the fall, like in around November. November is good amount. So you should be able to see proper radishes there. And Jan to Feb, if you want to start something new like artichoke and Brussels sprouts, they does require 110 days growing period. So purple Brussels sprouts are very tastier compared to the green ones. I'm just giving you whatever is the best. So whatever you want, you can try, but you must start seeds in between Jan to Feb. March actually, Feb to March. It's good to start pepper or eggplant. Those two also next longest period they will take to mature plants and to get the best yield. Since we have very short period, better to start if you are starting. If you are buying a plant, that's totally fine. Then up to April, tomatoes are good. And again in the March to April, all brassica family seeds like cabbage, kohlrabi, cauliflower, and all that stuff you can start. And all root vegetable seeds, direct sowing is good, like a radish, beets, and carrots. If they don't like transplantation, so just directly sowing is very good. And May 15th and later, or May 1st, after May 1st, beans you can start directly sowed and cover it with something like just to create as a greenhouse environment. That's the best thing. And again, August to September, again, fall crop, cabbage, cauliflower, spinach, radishes, all that stuff. And asparagus, that's the one of my favorite. So once if we start sowing right now, it is good for next 20 years. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do anything. It just comes up basically. So you can get in Walmart like around, I think $5, you get 12 or something. Those are bulbs. Add more compost and keep the distance at least 2 feet from one asparagus bulb to the other one, because that does spread so that like you get the best yield in the coming years. And hardy sorrel. This is completely sour and this is the localized one. And this also tastes very good. And once if you start, you can go like whenever you want, like until like many years. It doesn't go bad. And rhubarb, the next one is rhubarb. That's also comes like around next 8 to 10 years. Once if you start, like you don't have to do anything, but like it does occupy a lot of space. So just see the space where you don't use much and where it gets the enough sun. So, but like later on, it looks beautiful. There is no doubt in that. And eggplants, if somebody is growing in the pots, Passion baby and fairy tale eggplants will give the good amount of yield compared to other ones, because the plant doesn't grow much and it's full of yield only. Like you see less leaves and more yield. So those two are the best ones to try in the pots. And I just added like few, like if you guys want to buy some seeds, so botanical interest is the best one, high moving seeds, Rene Garden. You can, in case if you want, if you're interested in buying the seeds. And these are beets. I just kept it like, so this is the rainbow beets. So you get all colors, basically, orange, yellow, green, everything is there, purple beet. So whenever you are going to somebody's house, you don't have to buy the flowers or anything. You can just use all these things. You can just create as some nice vase, and then you can just go take it to them, and then they can use it. They can keep it like maybe a couple of days, and then they can use it. So it looks beautiful as well. The advantage of this is the taste is almost like a spinach, and it doesn't get bolted all summer long. So we can start by April, May, and then it continues all over the summer. Use the leaves, plenty of leaves will come. So use just the leaves. Don't worry about the beets. At the end of the season, take out those beets and you can use it. But like and meanwhile, you can use all these leaves. So spinach usually once the temperatures are up, it gets bolted. But these leaves, these beets like will go forever actually. So we don't have to worry about anything. Means we always have something. And I added this picture. This is scarlet kale. This is my favorite. So you don't have to do anything with that. You can, these are my just started seedlings. I'm just using like in the home. Every time like 3-4 leaves for just for the green juice or something. See here, this is surrounded by snow. This one we harvested in December actually. So it starts from now, like in by March, April, we can plant it outside. And then it goes continuously until next year, like this coming year, like December. We don't have to, like summer, it doesn't get bold. We just use leaves all the time. And it's continuous process. So we don't have to worry about anything. So scarlet kale and collard greens, those two are the best. It's good for the winter, good for the summer. Don't never get bolted or no flowering, nothing like that. So we just have to keep on using. We always have some greens in our backyard to eat with easy work, basically. Don't have to do anything, like they don't require any special care or anything. Radish and beets. So radishes, there are so many types of radishes. Like as I said, like winter radish, the daikon radish, it does take long time, but we are doing starting in July. So that's good, like to harvest in the fall, around November. October, November is good enough actually. Even it does snow, like nothing will happen. And but they does require cold temperatures to mature the edible root. So that was the reason we are waiting that long. And heirloom varieties like white icicle and giant of Sicily are also called the summer radishes. So they easily form a root in the middle of the summer. But size-wise, they fall between small round radishes, spring radishes, and long winter radish, like a daikon radish. That's in between the size. And beets, early wonder beets will give a lot of leaves. Spring planted beets, like golden beets or yellow beets, and the cylindrical ones are like almost look like a fat carrot or thin rutabaga. Harvest in the fall only, basically. You just use the leaves all year long and then use in the fall and you can make as a dal, chutney, saag, or whatever you feel like you can use it, like different varieties, different things. Seeds starting outdoors. So there are two ways to start the seeds outdoors. One is with transplantation. The second one is without transplantation. So the difference between the indoor seeds and outdoor seeds. Outdoor seeds, we don't need any hardening. That 2 weeks process is like saved, and plants are much stronger. So might as well, if you prefer, like white outside is good. And this is like just the clear tote, we are covering it up. Even once the temperatures are up, like it gets better, we should be able to use it, use this one to grow spinach or any greens. We are just creating here as a greenhouse environment, basically. The temperatures will be up. We don't have to water anything. Once the temperatures are little up, right now it is snowing, let the snow melt. And in between it goes to 40, 50s one day. So just throw some seeds and cover it with the clear tote and forget it. Open it in April or end of the March or beginning of April. You should be able to see the leaves, spinach, and all cold season crops. Anything you can do it like this way. That is the easy way to do it. Like you don't have to water, you don't see any bugs inside the house, and pretty easy one. And you don't have to transplant. And this is again another without transplantation. So once the temperature's up, just use like any clear tote, any bucket, or whatever you have, the outside container. Only thing is we are covering with the clear container, just something to create a greenhouse environment. And once we cover it, they must have like some holes. See here, like there are small holes, so that like the air circulation will be very good. That's the only one reason we are putting the holes. And in case if the rain comes or snow, that goes down, and then the temperature will maintain. So that will be good too. They do require water, right? So, and again in the ground, same thing. Again, without transplantation, just we are creating like say beans. Beans doesn't like transplantation, so we can just start outside, put the seed and cover it like this. You should be able to get these in the dollar store. They call it a croche or something. So you can buy one, or whatever you have in the home, that's totally fine. You don't have to buy extra stuff. Something clear, the light should be able to pass. And if you're using something in the home, just create some holes. That's the most important thing. Even the milk jugs, we can just cut in the bottom and just cover it up and put some holes. That's most important thing. Or take out the lid, so that like it will maintain enough temperature and the plants start growing. And then this is the winter sowing in the jugs with the transplantation, which we need to transplant this. This we can start anytime. Let's say some of the flower seeds, they need stratification. So those seeds, we can start even right now. Just put the seeds in the soil. Use the only potting soil when you are doing this outside, because that must retain some water. That was the reason we are using potting soil. And put the holes on the bottom also, because like in case the rain, snow comes, the water must drain off. It cannot stay there. So that was the reason. So next, cut the milk jug until the handle. So just don't cut completely. Then put the soil, like a potting soil, and then some seeds, and close it up and cover it with the duct tape, the part we have cut it. So just completely close it with the duct tape and keep some holes like on top portion as well, because to circulate the air. And whenever you see the plants, don't worry, because you do see the plants will come up like little later compared to plants we are growing inside. But ultimately the yield wise completely same. There is no difference, because these plants are much stronger. No transplantation is required, no hardening is required. By the time the plants we grow inside complete hardening, then it takes like 2 weeks time. And meanwhile, these plants will pick up like it just grows. So we don't have to worry anything in regards to this. And this is my just greenhouse, small greenhouse, just an experiment. I just use as a comforter bag. And I just close it whenever the temperatures are dropping. And whenever temperatures are good, I just open it. So anything you have in the home, you should be able to use it. That's what that was the reason I just added this slide. Visuals look much better, so that like we should be able to remember very well. So that's the reason also I added all these things. Next, this is a beautiful way to control the bugs. Basil, it controls the aphids. Mainly for the tomatoes, we can use this because if you plant tomato, at least for the couple of tomatoes, you use one basil plant. Anyway, we can use the basil like a lot, whatever we want, we can use it. So the flavor of tomato will be much better. That's the theme. So that is one thing. And also, of course, it repels the bugs like aphids. And the nasturtium, this is the beautiful plant. It comes like in too many flowers, and it also like aphids will go away, and it attracts the beneficial insects. And you should be able to eat the leaves. Those are peppery taste. So it's little spicy. So people who like spice, you can just use it right away, or you can use as a salads or the leaves and flowers. It looks beautiful. Even the decoration of the salad looks beautiful actually. And coriander, of course. The scent repels the aphids and carrot fly. And borage. Borage also like it protects the tomatoes from the hornworm. It's and a great pollinator plant. And leaves almost taste like spinach. So that's also a good one to use it. And once if you start and if you leave these plants flowering time, you don't have to plant again and again because those seeds will germinate again next year. So that's very easy and it's good also. And the lavender again scent, it confuses pests and it's good smell. So you don't see any mosquitoes or anything. And marigolds, that also deters like whitefly from the tomatoes and aphids and from beans. And you can plant like it's easy to grow also. Just throw some seeds and just comes up. So it's good one to try. And it looks beautiful also. The garden looks beautiful with so many flowers. Next one is organic pest control. So how do you do it? Like anything, prevention is better always rather than curing later on. So the best way to prevent is the bugs, organic pest control way. So ginger, garlic, green chilies, and also add a little bit turmeric. And just take the equal proportions and again make it a paste and ferment it for 24 hours. Then dilute 1:20 ratio. You can spread over all over your beds and all the plants wherever you want. You can spread it over like so that like bugs don't get used to eating any of the plants or anything. That the beginning of the season, especially for cabbage and all those things, you do see a white flies. So all these things can be repelled easily. And do it either in the morning or evenings, so that the plants doesn't get suffer basically. That's the reason we are doing morning and evening. And anything else, if you do see some bugs growing and if you observe it, in the beginning itself, just mix the neem powder, turmeric powder, hing is good. If you don't have all those things, just the neem powder and dishwashing liquid. Just mix it up, dilute it and spray in the plants. So that should be good enough. Actually, it should take care. Anything in the beginning is very easy, but if it spread over, it's difficult. And this is my favorite. In the beginning of the season, we get a lot of weeds. So just take out those weeds and soak it in the water. And for at least 3 days minimum is good. If you are able to keep like 20 days, that is good, but like 3 days is best. So after 3 days, once fermentation is done, take out, just drain it out and mix that water, like dilute it completely with the regular water and spread it all over the plant. Just give it to plants like on the plant base. That got like a lot of nutrients. It's not one to you see like there is definitely a lot of difference will be there because weeds are full of nutrients. They have absorbed from the soil. So we are giving back to the soil basically, whatever they got it. Then curry leaf plant. Curry leaf, anyway, that's our favorite, right? So the best thing is rice water or buttermilk. Even buttermilk, you should be able to use all the plants or hing, any of those. So buttermilk actually, what the reason for the buttermilk is it has like a nitrogen, high in nitrogen, which curry plant needs, but any plant needs to grow. Basically, any greens, we don't need any other fertilizer. For all greens, just they need the nitrogen. If you're adding too much of nitrogen means like you see a lot of leaves. So in the green plants, like all greens, like spinach, carrot, kale, collard greens, or anything, any greens. So you just need the nitrogen there. And so curry leaf and this, and also buttermilk makes the soil acidic. So curry leaf plant does like the acidic soil. And it causes probiotic bacteria and it increases the soil's microbe level. So that's good. And you can mix this with hing as well, so that like you don't have to do two different times. Hing will increase the plant branches structures. So that is also good. So just let the soil of the container dry out a little before you apply the application. Mix 2 spoons of yogurt, surrogate, or just the buttermilk, which is make the yogurt and just leave it outside for 2-3 days without keeping in the refrigerator. And once it becomes like sour, so just mix it in a gallon of water and then just put it in the plants. It doesn't have to be just the curry plant. It is good for all the plants, any plant. Then rice water, same thing. Right? Instead of regular watering, just the rice water, you should be able to use it. That is also very good. And you don't have to use the hing, like just hing. Mix with the buttermilk mixture so that like you don't have to do double work. Basically, you'd be done like both together. Then eggshells. So why we are using eggshells? Same thing, as I explained before, like, so it is good for to prevent the end blossom rot, and plant structure will be more strengthened. And so it is good fertilizer actually. And everything is available in the home. We don't have to buy anything store-bought ones. Tropical plants. So when do you need to bring the plants inside? Whenever the temperatures drop below 50 degrees, we need to bring the plants inside. So what is the things we need to take care? The best part is self-watering pots are the best. The reason self-watering pot means like we can put the water from the base, not from the top. So that like if the top layer is just dried out, you don't see much bugs. Only the bottom layer, so from the down we are putting the water. So that's easy. And before we bring it in, we need to clean up the soil. So how do we do it? Like just the diluted neem oil spray, hydrogen peroxide, or dishwashing liquid. Mix it up, dilute it, use it generously. The water just flow it up, like just do a couple of times and bring it in. So that should be good. You don't see any bugs or anything inside the home. And then the neem oil spray and turmeric. All these things are best way to organic way, and doing like very good. Like it helps actually. You don't see any bugs, and don't water too much once the plant comes inside. Once we bring it inside, the top layer must be dried out. And to avoid one more thing, bugs inside the house, the top one layer, 1 inch at least, cover it up with the perlite or vermiculite or sand is also okay, so that the bugs doesn't come out actually. That is the main concept. The using perlite and vermiculite, it retains the water inside, so we don't have to water so frequently as well. Whatever we are watering from the base, that should be fine. All right. The next one is in case if you do see fungi there, like in the plants, take out all the diseased leaves and wash the plant nicely. Just to see the plants, observe the plants. Initial stage is easy to tackle it. Then combine 1 tablespoon of baking soda with the detergent soap and with the gallon of water, and spray the mixture liberally on the plants. And we are taking out all the leaves, so just to save the plant. That's the concept we are doing it there. And the spider mites and aphids, this is the ratio basically: 1/4 cup of Dr. Wood's tea tree oil castile soap, and another 1/4 cup Dr. Wood's peppermint oil. Basically, we are giving the strong smell, so we are repelling the bugs there. And hydrogen peroxide and isopropyl alcohol. So this combination, just dilute it and put it there on the plant. So you should be able to get rid of spider mites and aphids if it's like extreme level. The reason I added this is like plants in the garage. We should be able to grow the plants, even though it's like, if you do have a heated garage, that's excellent. So we don't have to worry about it. But if we don't have a heated garage, so we need something to maintain the heat apart from the light. So these are the mylar film sheets. So what happens, it absorbs the heat and then the light, whatever we are providing, and it reflects to the plants. So that heated environment can be maintained very easily. So that's the best way to do this one. Use them like any mylar sheet. I think you should be able to get in the Lowe's or anywhere, like 1 sheet is $10. So you can put 1 on the wall and 1 on the sides. So you're good to grow in the plants, especially these cool season vegetables. If you don't want to go out in the springtime, like if it is snowing and you don't want to go and harvest it, just create something simple one you should be able to harvest your spinach, kale, and collard greens and whatnot, like all radish, beets, and you can start inside. Once the temperatures are up, you can put it outside, and it's continuous growing like until next year, until the coming year, November, actually. So that will be good to use it. That's called mylar film sheets, and easy to grow it, actually means that to maintain the heat. Next one, plants to prevent bugs. So the reason we are using it's not only attract bugs, and we can use, like, we can also have it, like we can use it like in our diet. So that is nasturtiums, as I explained before. That is, there are multiple varieties. There are so many beautiful flowers will be there. So there are so many different colors. And the leaves are best, stems are best, flowers are best. Everything you can use in the salad. And at the same time, it attracts the bugs. And so mostly you use nasturtiums like around wherever you see the squash bug. That's the very important part. So squash usually like zucchini or bottle gourd or cucumber. These plants will more attracted by the squash bugs. To prevent that, if you plant nasturtiums and also radish, they don't like radish, just around the base of the bottle gourd or cucumber or zucchini or any of those, just plant some of these plants. You don't see any bugs at all. You get the good amount of yield because you don't see any bugs, means plant is growing so healthy. So you should be able to get like very good amount of harvest. Then citronella. Citronella is very strong, nice, like, citronella candles, same like citronella plant you plant, and it's very nice flavor, nice smell, and you don't see any mosquitoes. You should be able to use all summer long. You should be able to spend much time in the summer, actually, because no mosquitoes. And it's very easy. If you don't have it, just buy one plant. And once the plant grows, just take out a few stems, put it in the water. So once you see the roots and plant it, it just grows so quickly. You don't have to, okay, whether it's growing or not, like you don't have to see anything. You don't have to take care of any extra stuff. Just the plant grows just with the stems. Lemongrass. This is one of the herb we use usually for the tea, right? So that is also one of the best thing. Even the lemongrass becomes dried up, just take out and put it in a bowl and keep it wherever in the house. It just comes up like nice smell. You don't see any bugs inside the house or anywhere. So this is one of the things, use it. And marigold, lavender, garlic and onions. This is how I do it. Garlic and onions, I plant it on the around the beds, like vegetable beds, all around the beds, like garlic and onion will be there. Those are the two things will come up like in the beginning. By March, you should be able to see garlic and lavender leaves, and you can use it right away. Say whatever you want, like any fried rice or salads or wherever, like you should be able to use it. And that young tender leaves will give like nice flavor to the food. And then 4 o'clock, that is a special plant. 4 o'clock is the best because Japanese beetles just love the 4 o'clock. Apart from, of course, flowers are nice. So we don't have to worry about that part. Plant is very easy to grow. Just throw a few seeds, it just comes up. Japanese beetles, they just like 4 o'clock. So but like the problem with that is they cannot digest properly, but they cannot resist. So once if they eat, so they cannot digest and they may fall sick or something. So it's easy to control Japanese beetles, especially because those beetles like come around June, July time and August. So by then, if you do have like 4 o'clock, around July, August, actually. So those will attract, and you should be able to get beans, rose plants. They just eat like in a day or two, like if they see and if they attack, in 1 or 2 days, the whole plant will be leaved. Just the veins will be there. That's the signal that you have a Japanese beetle. Just the veins, you should be able to see. All the nice parts will be done. They just eat, they go crazy, basically. Just a couple of beetles is good enough to spoil full thing. All right, thank you. I covered all the points. Any questions, or do you want me to cover anything else in the more? Just let me know.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Somaji. May I, I'll just stop the screen sharing so that we can all see you.
Okay. There are some questions in chat, right?
Yes. I can't do that. Can you?
Suma, do you want to answer any of those?
Oh yeah, sure. Of course. I didn't see whatever the question. Just if I don't know, that's fine. I can learn to something. Go ahead. Yeah. I can't see the question.
You can. I can read for you. Vaishali Belser is asking, can we get this PPT? Not possible to retain this all. Okay, that is for Shweta.
Okay.
No, yes, we had actually discussed this with Sumaji earlier that when we were discussing what we are going to talk, this was the concern that it should equally be intriguing for the new gardeners as well as be informational enough for the seasoned gardeners. And that's why we came up with this thought of giving as much as information as possible. And when I asked Sumaji if we could share the presentation, she agreed. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. I will share the presentation after the talk is done. Meanwhile, I did have there is Kavita Wadkar who wants to ask, how do we grow strawberries in Chicago?
Oh yeah, that's very easy. Strawberries. So any small container is good enough. And strawberries, there is two types: June bearing or like all season growing. So June bearing is like you get only in the June, like plenty of strawberries. Then you just need to take out those plants. You can start from the seed as well, or whatever the variety you want. All season I suggest, but like June bearing is fine too. Majority of the people will share the plants because like there will be multiple plants. It just occupies all over the ground. So go with or if while you are buying, just buy a couple of plants and it will come up nicely. You can use like Dollar Tree as like some of the small raised bed containers. So you should be able to use that, or there is something like just a milk basket. No, not the milk, like the white basket. So you should be able to use that. In the holes you put the strawberries, and that's easy. It just comes up like, so you don't have to do any extra stuff. It comes up like in the beginning itself. By April, May, you should be able to see all the plants coming up. It's a perennial here. Strawberries are perennial. Once if you have a protected ground where rabbits doesn't touch, so you're good to grow. You're good to grow base. What are the best way to keep the squirrels away? Squirrels, rabbit, chicken wire is the best. Or else just grow something what they like a little bit on the side. So once if they like it, I have a beautiful squirrels. Like so, my bed is like in the middle of the ground, middle of the garden backyard. They just come and they eat like every day. They eat like 2 inches of my cucumber. So I just left it. Okay, let's see what they're going to do. But they are so cute. They just go and eat same cucumber every day, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. So that's fine. So yeah, just grow something what they like and separately basically. So usually they don't bother so much, but sometimes they have to eat too. So eat like a couple of more plants, grow more plants, so that like it's good for them as well. Chicken fence. Okay, the most important point is chicken fence. So just before you start your garden, chicken fence is the most important step. Cover it all your garden bed or garden backyard completely, wherever you want to grow, cover with the chicken fence. So that is the best way to deal with rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, whatnot, everything actually.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sumaji.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I do have one question as well. I have a couple questions actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What is the right time to start hardening? I mean, I will start the seeds indoor, and how much time should I give them?
And then, in our season, like usually see the temperatures. You can see in the Farmer's Almanac, we should put our zip code and we should be able to see when we are the frost is getting over. So start just 1 week before, because like your frost is coming in the night time, right? So to avoid that, 1 week before, start with a half an hour, 1 hour daytime, and then bring it inside wherever you want. So, and then later on, once the temperatures are up, when there is no frost in the night time, at that time, you can completely leave it outside. Or you can cover it up. If you are leaving, if you don't want to bring it, just cover with something else, plastic sheet or any other. The concept here is All these plants can grow outside. The only thing is the snow or wind, it shouldn't touch basically the plants, mainly the winter sowing plants like a cabbage, cauliflower, and kale, spinach. So all these things, they just grow. There doesn't matter. There's no problem at all. Only problem, whenever the snow touches the leaves, then the plant will die basically. Or the temperatures are getting. So just cover it with something. That's all you need to do. Very simple.
And when you mentioned about the putting the totes on the beans, like how much distance should the bean seeds be planted?
Beans are like shallow roots, like it's only the top level will be there. So at least 1 feet, 12 inches at least.
12 inches, okay.
Yeah, 12 inches is good.
We have a few things in the chat. Kashmira, you want to? You're on mute.
And lazy and didn't clean the plant beds. Shall I remove them all before planting the soil? Yes, yeah. You can do that, or else I think Vandana was asking. So you can do that, or else like see in between around in the month of I think maybe after a couple of months, whenever the temperatures are up, just cut it above the ground and make it a small piece. Just spread it over because it becomes compost very easily. It means just if we have like at least 2-3 months, so that's good enough. Or else you can do it later on. That's not a problem actually. But like so that you're using all those plants also to compost and you're using it back, right? That's all the reason.
Okay, so you mean cut it above the ground and use same leaves in the same bed?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
It's just spread it around.
Unless the plant has got into some disease, you can use anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But if they are diseased plants, just take it out, throw it away.
Okay.
Don't use that.
And there's one more question from Namita Tai. How to prevent from rabbits?
Yes, chicken wire, chicken fence, nothing else works. Even garlic, onions does prevent to a certain extent. Definitely prevents. Like there is nothing you can say like, but like not completely. Because like I do have like a lot of my cucumber plants like outside, they didn't even touch it because its full area is surrounded by all lavender, citronella and garlic and all these things. They didn't even touch it, but they do eat. Beans, we cannot control them. No, somehow they find a way to go and eat. So beans, there's no way. So you have to have a chicken fence.
No, my question is mostly for tulips. When they just start sprouting up, the rabbits will go ahead and eat them. And I can't put chicken wire in the front yard. It looks horrible.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the one problem. So cover it up with something where they cannot access basically. See the small ones I did show you in one of the picture. Maybe you can use that just because it's on the ground level. So nobody will see. Put some weight on top of it. But there is nothing else. No, even windmill, people will say, but like, no, it doesn't work.
Okay, thank you.
You do get the tulips later on. Maybe at that point, the tender leaves, any tender leaf, because they feel hungry, right? They don't get any food. So they naturally will eat. So, but like plants will go once they get stop, like later on, like it start growing and you get the tulips.
Thanks.
Yes, compost is homemade, like applicable to all plants, not the indoor plants, because we are going to bring that pots inside the home. So better not to use it any compost like which is not clean, like maybe some bugs, microbes will be there, right? So that's all the reason. Otherwise, it is good. No, there is certain plants, there is compost made of specific requirements. No, there is no specific requirement. You means like browns and greens ratio, if you are talking, somehow you are making the compost. So don't worry about that part. We get only thing most important for the soil is the pH level of the soil. Majority of the Indian plants will grow in the neutral pH, other than raspberries. And so now the curry leaf, the other acidic environment, otherwise neutral. So you can get $10 like in Lowe's or anywhere like or $5. The pH meter. In that you should be able to see the moist level, pH of the soil, and also light requirement, how many hours you are getting light in that bed. So just put it in one of the bed, you should be able to measure it. See the neutral environment. So that's all you need to care about it. Compost is a compost, so it's good for anything. Only thing you are composting, use the healthy plants only, not the diseased ones.
Thank you.
Any
There
questions?
is, there is one more question about how to care the tulsi plant indoors. Now,
Yeah, tulsi plant, it does require, but like even if it is not coming up, don't worry, because the leaves will fall off in case if it's not coming up, and the seeds will fall off. It just comes up next year again once the temperatures gets better. Proper heat, proper temperature we need to maintain. That's all you can do basically for the tulsi plant. And if you want it like specifically, I use 10,000 units of LED light, lumens LED light, LED light. So that works out very well for me. Like I grow like a couple of greens just for my green juice every day so that I can get the fresh greens and stuff, something store bought. So I use one of the lights. So that's good actually.
Deepa B has some small and black white bugs in her hibiscus, and she wants to know if we could prevent them and how.
So once the temperature is up, just take it outside and then just wash the plant nicely. Wash the plants nicely. Don't let those bugs into on the soil. Just put it in the angle or something, wash it off completely. Hibiscus is the one plant, like it will turn all the leaves into yellow and then it will fall off and then it will come back nicely once the temperatures are up, if you are not providing extra light, anything inside the home. So if all the leaves, if it's gone off, that's totally fine because the roots are very important. Root is good, then you are totally fine. So the soil and root, the temperatures you should be able to maintain. That's all you need to do. Once like around the May or anything, like as soon as the weather gets better, that it starts getting the new leaves, new flowers all time.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, take out all those. I did put the mix actually there. So once you see the PowerPoint, like you should be able to see for the spider mites, take out all the curry leaves and wash it off gently with that. Like you should be able to get all those ingredients from Amazon actually. It won't, I did try in Lowe's and all just to keep it. I did not find. So if the spider mite is there, take out the leaves, the infected leaves for sure. And use, because all these are natural ingredients, right? So that should be fine.
Yeah, we are almost like it's almost 3:05. Are there
Okay.
like any more questions by anyone else? There is. Will meeting garlic and curry leaf plant help? What?
Meeting garlic and curry leaf plant.
Sorry, that was typo. What I meant was, can I just put some garlic pods in curry leaf pot? Will that help or will it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt. But like curry leaf and garlic, curry leaf plant doesn't like anyone else actually. Usually the plant will grow by itself and the roots will disturbed. So that's all the reason. Otherwise, it should be, if you have a real big pot on the side, growing garlic doesn't hurt. Garlic is like superficial, right? It doesn't even go like so deep.
Okay. I mean,
It definitely will repel the bugs.
Yeah, what I meant was not for the bugs. I mean, actually for the bugs, not for growing. So
Exactly. Yeah. But like, okay. Fresh garlic you are talking?
yeah.
Don't put the just fresh garlic. See, the simple way I tackle the bugs is the citronella plant. Just put one of the citronella plant in the wherever you're growing all these plants. That's nice smell will come. Even the leaves dry up, just put it in one of the bowl. It's easy to tackle. Garlic, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, no harm in that. But the problem is like, you never know. Again, the microbes will increase and then the bugs will come. Like, so we don't want to use any extras. Once the plant is inside, outside, whatever you want, you can do it. It doesn't matter.
Thank you. And will a citronella plant grow inside in winter?
I don't know. It is growing in my house, so I think it should grow.
Oh, that's
maybe.
good.
Yeah.
Everything grows in your house, Suma.
No,
You're a
no,
good caretaker.
Yeah, I just growing. Yeah. So no, I'm using one of the 10,000 units LED light. So that is one extra point. LED light.
Is that the purple one or?
No, just the white one. Because
Okay.
according to Michigan Agricultural Department, they suggested that for the Indian plants. So that was the reason I used like I bought 10,000 lumens. Usually for the growing seedlings and all, they'll say like 4,000 to 5,000 is good. 10,000 units is like our sun, like in the summer, like middle of the midday sun. So that usually has the white light. I just keep like whole room, just one light, nothing else. So it's not affecting much. So that is good actually. So it's helping. It's not burning or anything, and no bugs because of citronella. And I only have very few plants, not much, just one curry leaf and 2 longevity spinach and a few scarlet kales and one more, I think just a couple of plants. That's all, nothing much.
Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, okay.
Are there any more questions? Yeah, I really appreciate you all for coming. आणि तुमच्या सर्वांचे खूप आभार. आणि तुम्ही सगळे आपला नवीन उपक्रम सपोर्ट करायला आले. आणि सुमाजी, तुमचे खूप आभार. सुमाजी, thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I love to do it. So it's all of us has to be healthy, right? Ultimately, that's all it matters actually. Yeah. And it's very easy to do it. So it doesn't even take much time to do it actually. So whatever we have in the home, we can use it. Even for growing the plants, only the concept you need to have any of the pots is the pot should have some hole. That's all the concept. Some air circulation should be there. You don't have to go and buy like some fancy pots or anything to grow the vegetables or any plant. Thank you. But that's nice. Like so many people attended. Like I didn't even expect this many people like on Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
I
Nice.
think once they see the YouTube live portion, and then and we posted some messages in the group as well, right? So
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
I think going forward we'll have more participants.
Sure.
Yeah, and next time Suma will also visit everybody's home, whether you guys have
No.
really taken.
She will score.
She's my neighbor, Reti. She starts her gardening early morning, 5 o'clock. I see her every day.
Yeah.
And
तू
then
5 वाजता
7
उठते. तू 5
5
वाजता
o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock she's gardening. 7 o'clock she's going for walk.
7:30 ला तू योगाला येऊ शकते.
आज नाही रे, उन्हाळ्यामध्ये. This is in summer. Summerला. Like, and then she'll join for walk. And then she'll also have Vishnu Sahasranam for all her plants, so they grow healthy and they get good vibes along with her neighbors. Thank you so much.
Tarif.
Lucky you, Kashmira.
Yeah, I am lucky. I have really good, very nice neighbors, and we are friends for last 20 years too.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. And thanks, Sumaji, for taking the first gardening session this year. Hopefully, we'll see you soon again in different session. And thank you, Shweta, for taking this initiative. And hopefully, we'll have more sessions.
Okay.
And in person once the weather is clear.
Oh, yes.
At least Suma, Prasad is very close to our house, so don't worry.
Okay.
So she'll definitely come to your house.
We usually have the small vegetable garden. My wife does it.
Okay.
I think your wife knows Suma too. Shipra knows her.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone. Have a
Thank
nice day.